What if your body was sending you life-saving warnings about your heart, but they were so quiet you couldn't even hear them? Well, that's the scary reality for a lot of people over 50. These signals, they're subtle, they're so easy to dismiss, and honestly, they're often mistaken for just, getting older. So today, we're going to learn how to listen to those whispers, because recognizing them could absolutely save a life. Think about it for a second. Could you? Because a real-life heart attack rarely, if ever, looks like what we see in the movies. The signs are usually quiet, they can be confusing, and they're just so easy to brush off as something else entirely. And that is the real danger. We're talking about thousands of people going about their normal lives, gardening, working, walking the dog, who might be having a serious cardiac event and have no idea. That lack of awareness means delayed treatment, and that can lead to irreversible heart damage or worse. So why? Why are these signals so often missed? Well, it's because we're kind of wired to explain them away. We tell ourselves it's just the aches and pains of aging, or maybe a bit of stress, or a minor bug. But let's break down the signals you absolutely cannot afford to ignore. Okay, first up, let's look at how your body responds to simple, everyday physical activity when your heart is under strain. These are some of the earliest clues, and they have everything to do with your energy levels. And I'm not talking about feeling a little tired after a long day. No, this is a profound, bone-deep exhaustion that hits you out of nowhere and just doesn't get better even after a good night's sleep. It's a fundamental sign that your heart muscle is struggling, working way too hard just to do its basic job of pumping blood around your body. And look at this. What's so telling here is how mundane these activities are. Carrying in the groceries, walking up a flight of stairs. When these everyday tasks suddenly feel like you're climbing Mount Everest, that's a huge warning. That's your body screaming that the demand for oxygen is just way too high for what your heart can actually supply. Another really surprising clue is getting winded from almost nothing. I mean, struggling for breath after just a short walk, or maybe even when you're just lying down flat in bed. The key here is that this can happen with zero chest pain, which is exactly why it's so easy to dismiss. This is often caused by fluid building up in the lungs, and that's a direct result of the heart not pumping efficiently. All right, let's move on and debunk a major myth. We're all conditioned by TV and movies to expect that dramatic, chest-clutching moment, but the reality of heart attack discomfort, well, it can be a lot more deceptive. This really illustrates the difference perfectly. Forget the sudden stabbing pain. The truth is often this vague feeling of pressure, like a heavy weight on your chest, or even a sensation that feels just like heartburn. And here's the sneaky part. It might only last for a few minutes at a time. Because it comes and goes, it's incredibly easy to write it off as just a bit of indigestion. And the confusion doesn't stop there. The discomfort doesn't always stay put in the chest. Because of this whole network of shared nerves, a struggling heart can send distress signals to completely different parts of your body. It's a phenomenon called referred pain. So that persistent ache in your jaw or your neck or your back, it might not be from sleeping funny or having bad posture. It could actually be your heart. The real clue is if the discomfort flares up when you exert yourself and then eases off when you rest. That pattern is a major, major red flag. Okay, finally, let's cover a group of symptoms that are incredibly common and are almost always mistaken for something else. Honestly, these are the sneakiest signals of them all, because we've all felt them for other, much less serious reasons. Nausea, sudden dizziness, breaking out in a cold sweat. On their own, these could be anything, right? But when they happen for no apparent reason, they are potential red flags. Dizziness could mean your brain isn't getting enough blood. That cold sweat means your body is in distress. The crucial thing here is context. When these symptoms pop up alongside any of the other signs we've talked about, you have got to pay attention. So, you can recognize the signs. Now what? What's the most important step? Well, it's moving from simply knowing to actually doing something. And that means overcoming one of the biggest hurdles there is, our own tendency to downplay what our body is telling us. It's the key question, isn't it? We can learn all the signs in the world, but often our first instinct is to find a reason why it can't be serious. We rationalize, we explain it away, and we decide to just wait and see. Look, these thoughts are completely normal. It's just human nature to hope for the best and try to avoid thinking about a serious health issue. But when it comes to your heart, this mindset can be incredibly dangerous. These rationalizations, they delay life-saving treatment. So the action plan is simple and it's non-negotiable. Step 1, do not ignore it. Step 2, do not wait for it to go away. Don't try to tough it out. If you or someone you know experiences these symptoms, especially a combination of them, you have to get medical help immediately. It is always, always better to be safe than sorry. And this right here, this is the ultimate takeaway. Your heart often whispers long before it ever screams. The real challenge is learning to listen to those whispers, the unusual fatigue, that odd discomfort, the shortness of breath, and then having the courage to actually do something about it. Listening doesn't just make a difference, it can make all the difference.